So hello everybody, how y'all doing? I'm about to come up here and do a series of zodiac readings. Okay, so I got my trusty hand that's holding the 12 zodiac signs. We're just gonna go in the order that they come out. So I do know the first one is Aries, because in setting it up, Aries was the last one, but I ended up seeing which one was last, so I took it for the bottom and made Aries first. Okay, so let's get into it. It's going to be for Aries. These zodiac reading dates will change based on the way that I'm getting them done. So this is going to be from the 22nd until the 2nd of October. Okay, let me even write that down since I'm calling it out. Okay, for today, 22nd through 10/2. Right? So I told you Aries is first, so we don't have no surprises. My trusty hand is introducing itself. So let's go ahead into it. Okay, Aries, and let's see what's going on a general aspect for y'all this week. Okay, let's see what the message is going to be for y'all this week. So universe, I got the Aries astrological energy that's here. Can you give me a message, a translation, correspondence, a message of correspondence on what the Aries family, for the ones that resonate, have a selective way of resonating from the sun signs, from the planetary aspect, and from the house aspect, far as natal chart reading goes. Can I have a message of correspondence for the general energy for Aries from September the 22nd to October the 2nd of 2019? What is the general message? Can I have 2 more cards? Thank you. So, Aries, we have the Hangman that came out. We have the Hermit that came out. And we had the Ace of Wands that came out. So it looked like you had the Hangman and the Hermit with the Ace of Wands. It's almost like, for real, a lot of Aries energy seem to be a little bit secretive or maybe sacral. Meaning that, because it's a lot of orange that's coming up, so your sacral chakra could be right there, and the way that you want to, in a general aspect, the way that you might want to get things accomplished, you just want to have people that you could trust. People that you already have a connection with, that you know about. You know they're good and bad, so they could be part of the pathway that you want to go down this week, or whatever kind of decisions. Now, on a general aspect now, what this energy is saying it like that, it could be that, you could be employed. Say you're employed, right? And you got a delivery job. So in your delivery job, of course, you're going to meet a lot of people. And some of them, it's just not even going to be necessarily part of your conscious decision. Because if you go to work, like me, I usually go to work with a mind frame of doing whatever schedule I got to do. Put my mind and my energy. Don't bring my personal energy too much, or things of that doesn't need to be incorporated or blended in. It's like a split transition from being at work and getting off of work. You know, getting in the morning, getting ready is like the meditation and transition. You know, that's how the correspondence energy is. So like I say, if you're a delivery driver, so you come across, but these people that you come across as far as the hangman mode, you really probably don't really care whether they trustworthy or not. You probably, your hangman energy is more like if you're delivering something and say, you know, they got so many lot boxes and features that's coming up now with delivery. So you reading the paperwork as far as hangman mode and switching between the way that each package got to deliver. So the hermit mode is just being specifically kind of conscious about making sure the accuracy is there. Now the Ace of Wands could be feel like maybe you got in trouble, or maybe there was a customer that called and complained, and you like, hold on, you know, this package had to come from an airplane and then get delivered here. Why am I getting the bulk of the blame of it? Like, did anybody do any internal investigation on the product before it got put on my truck? You know, maybe you weren't even one that loaded your truck as much as you gathered the documentation, because sometimes the driver and the loader is two different people. So you could be like, hold on, what is this that's going on? So that's just a breakdown on how the general aspect of saying that, of trying to, this from the 22nd to the 2nd is like, you need to know the traits of the people that you're involving with and how they benefiting you and how they're going to be affecting you during this time. So let me get a little bit of clarity, okay? Universe, can I get a little bit of clarity for the hangman that's here? Can I get a little bit of clarity for the hangman? Can you clarify the hangman for me, please? And then we got the High Priestess, which is the High Priestess is just the same way of, and bringing in the story a little bit more. Who is the customer that complained? Did they give you that information? You know, maybe you don't know the information, but you know you're getting accused of it. The alien. Can I get a clarification for the alien card? Can I get a clarification for the alien card? Oh, there's a lot of them. Seems like the Hermit got a lot to say. So it came out with the Sun, the Chariot, the Two of Cups, the Two of Swords, and the Queen of Swords, and the Six of Cups. Whoa. Yeah, it seemed like the Hermit is also kind of functioning. The Hermit is kind of functioning as a devil's advocate with the Sun card, the Chariot, and the Two of Cups. Meaning that it's kind of like a driven energy of making you only want to focus on what you want to focus on. Or maybe that could just be in your natural aspect of your state of only caring for what is beneficial to you. Whether, the beneficial is because you don't indulge in negativity, you making changes to your life. Whatever the beneficial aspect of it is, it seems like that beneficial aspect of it is going to be on the market. It's going to be tested, especially with the Two of Swords and the Queen of Swords and the Six of Cups. It could be something that is in a retrograde type of transition. Don't mean that it's going backwards. It just mean that it can be some backwards, because revenge is backwards. Re-innovating yourself is something backwards and forward, because you got to look at what your way you done came from to make sure that where you came from is the excuse on why you reinvented yourself. Let me go in a little bit more a different way. So I wanted to use these cards, and I feel my spirit guides telling me it's a good time to bring them out. So when it comes to this general energy right here for Aries, can you tell me kind of like within the natal chart positions, like what type of energy would this be relating to for Aries, this general energy? What type of energy? Just one card, please. What type of energy would this be for Aries? Okay. So it's like the Grand Trine. Now, this card do say that the Grand Trine is blessings, but it don't necessarily mean, to me, it don't mean that it's blessings. Okay, it's a situation. Grand Trine on a mathematical aspect, it's a perfect 360 degree match correspondence between the circle and the triangle that's inside. Okay. This card identifies with a feminine triangle energy, which goes good far as looking out in space. It is dark, so you know it got a feminine thing. Masculine is supposed to represent light, so but it doesn't. I don't look at it as representing that this is specifically talking about a feminine or female, or it's talking specifically about a male. This is just whoever is in Aries, and definitely sun sign Aries. It can fall for any other placement of Aries in somebody, meaning, you know what I'm saying. So, but you know, on 120 degrees of this correspondence, meaning that you got the it could mean that it could place you in a type of attitude that you could feel like if somebody comes too close to your assets, your belongings, you could get triggered to be defensive. Now, how far irrational you go with it really depends on the person and the characteristics of you. Because it's not really isolated to a zodiac sign. It's just isolated to the person. So it's like you feel it's a type of energy that you feel very confident, which you still go good with. Example, I mean, if you've been working for this place and you trying to stay in your ground and figure out why you getting the bulk of the blame when a package is getting transitioned, this is like you going into a whole 360 degree investigation. And you like, okay, it traveled 100 degrees from this point, and then 100 degrees to this point, and then it reached us at a point where I had to make this whole complete thing come to a complete objective. Now, it also could mean what the trine being up here in the Six of Cups. You know what I'm saying? It could have good blessings. You know, some Aries, you might want to watch out. If you're trying to get pregnant, it could be a good week for you on it. So if that blessing is meant. Now, what I'm saying is some blessings that's meant for you with the Grand Trine that's coming up here could definitely be there for you. It doesn't mean that it won't come with resistance with the Queen of Swords that's being up here. Okay? It just means that it could be something that's really embarking on the first time with the Ace of Wands that's being here, and you about to go into the situation, and it's probably starting to inject you more with cravings with the Two of Swords and the Queen of Swords and the Six of Cups, meaning that it's like going to school. You know that you wanted to go to school for this, but you sitting here, you done took some elective classes. And after you just took these elective classes, now you might want to switch your degree around. With the Grand Trine being around, it'd be a good time to try to switch your degree around. Which would be why the Six of Cups and the Queen of Swords could be here to be representing that also. Okay, so, yeah. So it's, I mean, it just depends on the Aries. If this is like the universe placing Aries in the initiation process, because sometimes the Grand Trine is all about initiation. It could deal with situations of failure, redirection of course. It just really depends. But on a general aspect, you know, you got the Hangman and the High Priestess. But there is some new beginnings. There is going to be some new type of creation, intervention that you're going to be willing to be inspired by. Okay, especially what is coming up with like the Grand Trine. Okay, so there you go. You got the Six of Swords. That's also down here at the bottom of the deck. You know, moving forward, getting reinventing yourself and all that good stuff. Okay, Aries. So with this energy that's right here, as far as Aries goes, let me get another deck. So, as far as the general aspect, can you go in a little bit deeper during this week for Aries and see, like, how will this type of energy affect a relationship for Aries? Okay? How will this energy here affect Aries as far as relationships? As far as their love life? We have 3 cards to go with it. So we got the 5 of Cups and the 2 of Swords and the 8 of Swords. So this type of energy right here, as far as a relationship goes, let me go ahead and clarify the 2 of Wands. I feel like the 2 of Wands is being the balance in that. So meaning that if you're in this Grand Trine, right, and if you're in a relationship that is, say it's hitting points of getting dull or bored. Can we clarify the 2 of Wands? It's getting dull or bored. So the 5 of Cups could be the temptation card that would come about where you're trying to seek some type of new adventure. Now, going out there on that new adventure is almost like the 8 of Swords either going to be playing as a warning card for you, or it's going to play a aspect of a fixed energy for you, meaning that you might be bored, but you're not trying to actually walk out of this love relationship. You just want to sit here and do something to entertain yourself. So the 8 of Swords could be like, you're not going nowhere. So the 5 of Cups is how you got to play your cards up in this situation. So you got to kind of prepare yourself for it. You know, say that you're a single Aries up in this situation right here. So the 5 of Cups is almost like, could be the way that you is feeling the momentum to get out there on your target. For example, if you just want to have somebody to chill with, go to a bar with. So the 5 of Cups is there, but it's like more of a nervous type of feeling. Hoping that somebody don't get attached, or maybe you don't get attached. Definitely maybe you for sure, Aries, that you don't get attached to the situation with the 8 of Swords being up here. Because the 8 of Swords is you're not really sure at this point in time of where you really want a relationship to go. So you still want to hold on to your solidarity in the situation as you move along. So like I said, the 5 of Cups will be playing something more the nervous aspect for you. Okay. So yeah, the 2 of Cups, 2 of Wands is getting clarified with the Queen of Cups. So, you know, it's all about you being, I guess that's where the Hermit will come back and the Hangman. Because the Hangman will be the 2 of Wands and the Hermit going to be the Queen of Cups for you. Okay? And that's where You know, when it comes to the supporting cards on how the high priestess was clarified, because it's like, you know better than anybody on what type of relationship that you in. You know the condition and environment, regardless of whether everybody on the outside looking in the window shopping view of it, or whether how close and you express yourself. At the end of the day, you know. So that's where the high priestess come in. And then with the saga of cards, with the Six of Cups, like the Six of Cups, Queen of Swords, and the Two of Swords coming up, is you more going to be a daredevil, you know, depending on which placement of the position that you is in the situation. You're just going to be a daredevil. And try to take a leap of faith and experiment with it the best way you can. But you holding on to the Eight of Swords. Your Eight of Swords is your lifeline. Okay? Which is giving you a whole complete Ten of Swords. And usually, you know, Ten of Swords is seen as a bad card. But, you know, the Queen of Swords is too. It seems like the Queen of Swords is worse than the King of Swords. When, you know, both of them could be bad. You know? So, it's all about you making sure that you know, your Eight of Swords is the way that you're going to let somebody know how you're going to get out the situation, how the situation going to be. Whether the other person feels like you could have told them and you didn't tell them and you decided to cut straight communication off, which is the Six of Cups, is more or less like, you know, for ones who call themselves like, you know, say you in a boredom situation, so your reinvention is trying to find something to occupy your time. So your Eight of Swords is all about you playing like you're available for somebody, and you know damn well you're not available for somebody. But you're going to play that game that you there, and so long as they get the appearance that you around, you accomplish it. But in the back of your mind, that Five of Cups is sitting right there, because you know potentially somebody could get hurt in this situation. But at the point in time, you having too much fun to care. To care about it. You know, and that's why the Chariot and, what was it? The Chariot and the Sun card? Was it the Sun card? Yeah. The Chariot and the Sun card there. Because it's more like you being inside of your self-centered energy at the point in time. Now, if you say you are single, you know what I'm saying? It's almost like you going through, yours going to be more like a life experience lesson that might be coming back around, depending on how long you've been single and how many people you actually been dealing with since you've been in the single world. So yours is going to seem more karmatic. Now, it could be a lesson that the universe could be teaching you right there through the grand trine of, you know, and it's saying that people got a right to treat you the same way. Now, if you're going to, for example, if you feel like somebody is like way too drama-fied because of the way that you act, and you don't want to consider their feelings about the situation because you don't like the way they presented the situation to you, you feel like they could have had something better. Just understanding a karmatic situation like this, what karmatic being right there, yours could come into, like, go all the way back to the beginning where I was talking about your job. The reason you getting accused and getting victimized, far as the scrutiny and getting charged with the neglect to care for a package the right way, is because in a relationship you treated it that way. So with the grand trine, is like the 120 degrees is adding up, but to get to the whole 360 is going to be the whole lesson learned. Now, the lesson learned goes back to maybe the reinventing, where the universe is reinventing you. But it don't necessarily mean on Earth you getting reinvented. Because if you're not even looking at those two situations affecting, or looking at them the proper way, or looking at it the proper way, that the universe will actually deal a dose of, you know, of a spare the rod on a child, type of situation, then I mean nobody could do anything about it. That's just your point of view. And you're gonna, I mean, people is stubborn all the time. We don't develop words as human because people never get the gist of it. I mean, our world, it just wouldn't be. You know, we wouldn't have, if we understood all the mistakes we had 3,000 years ago. I'm pretty sure, no, I'm not pretty sure, but I do assume that half of the shit that's going on now wouldn't be happening. But people want to know 3,000 years ago what happened, so we about to go through it. So it's one of those situations. It don't mean the lesson is learned, or what time zone was the lesson learned, that it really makes a difference. Because if it happened, if this situation happened like 2 years ago, that's a different time zone for your mental. So you really not paying no attention, and you could be like in the grand trying of it. You could be currently with somebody else and feeling the insecurities of something else, but it's coming from the stress that you having on your job, and it's bringing the insecurities home. But it's a whole big lesson learned from something that you did a while back. Okay, so let me go ahead and see how it can affect your money, your luck. Let's say your luck. I want to say luck. Okay, universe, how would this energy affect Aries luck during the September 22nd to October the 2nd? Three cards, please. It might not be that bad on your luck because the star card is here. But I guess it might be what you manifesting. Well, you got the Fool card and you got the King of Pentacles. It might be based on what you manifesting for sure, with the Star and the Fool card being here with the King of Pentacles. Okay, can I get clarification for the King of Pentacles, the Hangman, and the Ace of Cups? So when look at your Hangman coming back out. So it is all about your perspective up inside of it, and what you really, with the Ace of Cups, I feel like what you intuitively or whatever you then place within your heart chakra of what luck actually means to you plays a role with it. It's not really a bad thing. Can I get a clarification for the Star of the Fool card? It's just, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's a lot of Aries in the world. So, I mean, it's just on the luck of it, I mean, it's there. It's something, if you want some type of change that is part of your destiny path, it's definitely an opportunity there for you. Now, the alignment of the opportunity is basically about the challenge in it. Because we got the Nine of Pentacles, the Lovers, and the Seven of Pentacles. So, it's all about the effort and the work that you're going to put into it. Definitely with the Nine of Pentacles and the Lovers card. I mean, the Nine of Pentacles coming up here is definitely all about, you know, most likely some kind of wish fulfillment probably did occur in some of this, you know, especially with you going into the Grand Triangle with the Ace of Wands actually being present in your general energy. Then the shadow dynamic is the Six of Swords. So the Six of Swords, like being the shadow dynamic with these cards, with the Star and the Fool coming out. And Nine of the Pentacles and Lovers is whatever just starts new for you. You got to put effort in it. You got to put effort in it. That's just all to it. Whatever you classify effort to be. How much energy, who's supposed to do it. If that's what effort means to you, then that's what effort means. But if it does involve other people and some type of effort, well, you're going to have to submit for sure. So I definitely tell you to be prepared for Your luck requires some type of sacrifice. Ace of Swords is at the bottom. I mean, I did seek clarity. I just feel like, yeah, it's just rolling through because all of this been clarity. So, you know, Seven of Pentacles is here. So, Aries, you know, your luck is on your side. That could be why, you know, if you feel feisty or naughty this week that's coming up, it's because of this energy. If you feel like you could achieve some of these things, it is because of this energy. But just remember, it's an effort. Every reaction got a equal reaction to it, regardless of whether it's the blessing that's coming in or whether there's an opposite reaction. Just know that every reaction has a reaction. There had to be, for it to be a reaction, there first had to be an action. So action is very common with everybody, whether you're getting up first thing in the morning, whether you're talking, whether you're scrolling on social media. All of those is actions, and they will prompt reactions in some kind of way. How clarifying, how much revealing it is going to be is a whole different story, because that's going to be based on your perspective. So your luck is pretty good during this time. So, so for Aries, during the 22nd through October the 2nd, what would be the lucky number for Aries during this time period? What would be a lucky number for Aries during this time period? And you got the number 2. So, that could be October the 1st. Could be a good number for you. September the 29th could be a good number for you. Those two could be good numbers for you. October the 1st and September the 29th. So that's kind of interesting because you only got one day in between, and that's the 30th. And that could be the Hermit. And the other two could be the Hangman. But the number 2 is a good number for you this week. Okay. Number 2 is not always the kind of number that has people really make decisions, but it goes great with the Ace of Wands because it's all about getting that creativity, getting that burst of energy, being more strategic. Even with the Ace of Swords, it's a feminine thing, but also when you into the 3D world, it's kind of a little bit opposite. It becomes more of a masculine thing for you, because you're putting things together and you're seeing it more visual than anything. So, you know, but your lucky days could be on September the 29th and October the 1st. Okay. Now we'll go ahead and close this out with Oracle Guidance from the Wild Queen Yin Oracle deck. Okay, Aries. I hope y'all enjoyed this little weekly reading. This little snip. Okay. Can we close this out with some advice? Dream your dreams. Trust the desires in your heart are placed there lovely by the universe. You are meant to dream of what you dream. So there you go. I mean, you're meant to dream what you dream, but you got to put effort in getting it accomplished. But at the same time, you know, I'm going to tell you, Aries, it's so many facets that's up inside of here, meaning that when the Grand Trine is coming up in here, it also plays with a destiny line. So depending on where you at and if things need to be shifted around, it can be one of those things where you feel like your dreams is gone, but it's keeping you in a dreamy state. Like I said, it's all about the lesson being learned. It's definitely going to be some provocative energy that is potentially to come in. Some jealousy, a little bit of envy. As far as your relationship goes, it really depends on your temperament. If you're not completely satisfied or you're not somewhere down the line, you feel like it's lacking something, temptation going to be high, which is not necessarily positive or necessarily negative. But you definitely need to consider the parties that's up in here with having a grand trine energy. Because, I mean, everybody going to take an equal 120 degrees weight. But it does not mean that each party is willing to accept the consequences of their actions. That's in a 3D form. So it turns to pure entertainment, and it turns to writing and fulfilling your Akash records, which is dreaming your dreams. But, you know, or more or less trust that the desires in your heart are placed there lovingly by the universe. And that's a oxymoron. Okay, it's tricky. And you got the hangman all the way through. So make sure you be conscious and aware. Until the next time, y'all stay positive and be safe.